Okay, so I'll stop pretending to be Hannah Hart with my painkillers. So yeah, I had a thing done today. So for about, well, at least since 2001, I have had a head bump. I won't go into the big gory details of the head bump, but I've had a head bump. And in general, it's kind of been no big deal, just bump. It's under my hairline, so you couldn't really see it. But as I started losing more and more weight, the head bump wasn't getting any smaller. Well, it turns out you have a fair amount of fat on your head. And as you lose weight, you lose that fat. So all the padding that was around said head bump started to go down, and the head bump did not. And the skin started to get really stretched and irritated, and yeah, it was not a good feeling. So my camera's slightly tilted, but I don't know what, I guess I can kind of stand at an angle, maybe? Painkillers. So it was like catching on my hairbrush and getting really irritated all the time. So I decided I wanted to have it out and gone. I had a similar thing on my neck when I was in high school. And it was literally just my mom made an appointment with the doctor. I went in, they gave me some local anesthetic, boom, it was out. So I kind of expected this to be the same thing, but it turns out when things are on your head, it's a lot different. So I was actually in the same hospital that I was in for my surgery. In fact, I was on the same floor, in the same prep area. I don't think I was in the same OR, but I was definitely in the same general area. Recovery room was the same, everything like that. So it was a little bit surreal to be there. Because originally they were talking about giving me, originally today, they were saying, oh, we might give you general anesthetic. I'm like, it's a bump on my head. It's a little cyst. It doesn't require, like, I would have done it without twilight sleep. I mean, the thing on my neck, I didn't even have a Valium or anything like that. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But the thought was you might freak out. You might, once the blood starts, or if you start having problems with breathing or something like that, they can't get to your airway because the doctor was around my face. So what we ended up doing was twilight sleep, and then fun and exciting painkillers later. And the general anesthetic, or the local anesthetic, is definitely starting to wear off, which, boo. But the really weird thing, so first of all, I live a block from the hospital. In fact, there is nothing currently between my apartment building and the hospital. I walk across a parking lot, across the street, boom, hospital. So I had to make the same walk that I made for my surgery at 6 a.m., walk across the parking lot, go up the stairs, go to the same area. So that was all very surreal. But once I was in the room, I definitely noticed some things like, lying on the bed. I had a lot more room between my butt and the railings, and the gown went a lot further around and stuff like that. But obviously when you're doing something like this, I had about 5 different people ask me the same series of questions. Do you smoke? Do you drink? Do you have heart problems? Do this, blah, blah, blah. And of course they ask, have you had any previous surgeries before? So about 5 times I answered them, yeah, I had a vertical gastric sleeve here back in December. And I tried not to get too caught up in these kind of things, but it was so gratifying. Just every single person I dealt with looked, oh my gosh, you look amazing, you look so good. And I think, because actually I'm pretty sure the anesthesiologist or the student, she was a student of some kind, I don't know the terminology, but but she had been involved in my surgery in December. And I think they don't get a chance to see that the surgeries they're involved in, how they go, unless something goes horribly wrong. And it felt so good to just kind of have the mutual feedback of, we both did good. Go all of us. All of us did good. So yeah, I have a thing on my head. The bandage will fall off in a couple days, and then I'll go and get the stitches out next week. But most of the people who follow my videos also follow me on Facebook. So you guys know that I reached and then passed, yay, 100 pounds. So as of today, I've lost 106 pounds. I am, And people always ask me, what's your goal? What's your goal? When do you stop? That's another big one. When do you stop losing weight? It's like, I don't really have full control over that. It stops when it stops, which is a little worrying. So originally my goal was 185 pounds because then I would no longer be obese. Then it was 155, which was also 100 pounds because then I would no longer be overweight. So now I'm kind of like, oh, where do I want to be? And I definitely want to lose a little bit more weight. I don't want to be too close to the overweight line. I don't want to go way low, but I don't want to be right at that line because there will be fluctuations over my life. I mean, that's just your body's natural thing. So I don't want to be that close. So I'm thinking my new goal right now is 112 pounds, so 6 more pounds. And the reason for that is the summer before this one, my dad and I were walking across the Brooklyn Bridge when he was in town, and there were a group of people who were all part of Weight Watchers, and they all had signs on their backs with the number of pounds they'd lost, and they were all walking across the Brooklyn Bridge as well. And I remember there's one woman who I perceived as very, very slender. And I was thinking, oh, how much can, what she lost like 10 pounds, and she turned around and her back said 112 pounds. And I just couldn't even comprehend the idea of losing 112 pounds. I actually went up and I congratulated her. I said, that's an amazing job, you've done fantastic, you look incredible. So I feel like 112 pounds is about the most weight I can wrap my head around losing. If I get there, great. If I don't get there, good. And I don't want to go too much lower than that, but again, I don't have 100% control over when it stops. So we'll see. It's still an adventure. But right now I'm going to go take another painkiller because it's about time. And I hope you're all having a great day. Bye-bye.